Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna take a look at another deck to try and climb the ladder into our road to master. Today's deck will be a Frejlord Noxus Aggro, which mainly focus on aggression, as every aggro archetype, and it has some nasty tricks, like for example the Fury of the North and some Overwhelm followers, which help us on push the damage. So let's take a look at the deck. So, as I said, the main focus of the deck is aggression, so we run 9 1-drops. Legend Saboteur is very nice to push the early on damage, as she is basically a 3-attack 1-drop, and it's currently better than the once 1 mana 3-2 that couldn't block. I can't remember the name. Maybe the Legend Rearguard. Currently it has been nerfed to only 1 health, and he is as squishy as the Legend Saboteur, for the exception that the Legend Saboteur is actually better because she can push that 1 damage, which is basically unblockable, even if you draw her on later stages of the match, where the board is pretty huge on your opponent's side, and so she can help on push that little damage. The Homenok is pretty much of a mid-rangey card, because he is not as strong as a 1-drop, but if you draw the other 2 cards, the other 2 allies, it's basically a 1 mana 3-3 worth of stat, so very good. Obviously you need to draw those allies, and it really comes in handy if you're going second, because you are not attacking anyway on the first turn, and so it's probably better to go for the Omen Hawk when you're going second to get a little nice bonus for later turns. The Precious Pet is a staple in every aggressive decks that run Noxus, really, because Fearsome on first turn is basically like an elusive, and so you basically push 2 damage every time, and also it will help us block other stuff in an aggro matchup mirror, possibly. Crimson Disciple is a very nice card to push the burn damage, and she works pretty nicely with the tricks that we will see later, like Transfusion and the Fury of the North also, because you can buffer and replenish her health for even more burn damage. So that's a nice synergy that we have. Imperial Demolitionist works very nice with the Crimson Disciple, obviously. And it's a nice body to have, 2 mana 2-3, push 2 damage even not in combo with the Crimson Disciple. Like for example, she also is pretty strong with the Ruthless Raider, which since she has the, I don't remember the name of the keyword, the tough keyword, she basically doesn't deal damage to that unit. So then yeah, Legend Grenadier, also a very nice aggressive unit, 2 mana 3-1, a pretty nice stat line, and also Last Breath deal 2 damage, which is basically always a proc. So yeah, 2 mana deal 2, and also possibly deal also 3 or even trade, so pretty nice card, also a staple in every aggressive Noxus deck. Ruthless Raider, pretty nice card, and the Overwhelm keyword really comes in handy in this deck, as I said in the intro, because buffing stuff with, like for example, Fury of the North, always, most of the times it feels bad to play Fury of the North, because you miss so much more damage. You could basically deal 4 more damage, but you miss all that damage into the unit that you are trying to trade, or for example, if you are saving your unit from a removal. But with the Overwhelm keyword, you push those 4 damage in, and so that's a very nice combo, and that's why we run so many Overwhelm cards. Then no Transfusion, a pretty nice trick, as I said, it works pretty well with Crimson Disciple. Iron Ballista, again a pretty nice body, and the Overwhelm keyword will come in handy, as I said, for the Fury of the North. Then Might, which is basically a 3 mana deal 3, and also has some trades potential. The Overwhelm keyword really works nicely for cards which do not have Overwhelm in our deck, like for example the Legend Grenadier, Emperor Demolitionist, and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty nice trick to have, could, as I said, make some trades and still push damage in. Noxian Fervor is a very nice card, for example, to save one of your cards from removal and reuse that unit that will die anyway for removal of other pieces from your opponent, or face damage for the burn aspect of this deck. Fury of the North, as I said, is a very nice trick and pretty much a key card in this archetype. Then we have Darius, which comes at turn 6, and it is basically a way to push for the win, really, nothing much going on. Ancient Yeti, probably you want to mulligan for this. Basically, on the first hand, you want to mulligan for 1 drops. As I said, if you're going second, the Omen Oak is preferable. If you're going first, probably Legion Saboteur is the best. Precious Pet works nicely on either if you're going first or second, really. And you want also to mulligan for Ancient Yeti, because if you draw those on your first turn, after 3 turns, you will have 4 mana, and this will cost 4 mana. So basically on turn 4 you slap on the board a 5/5 with Overwhelm, which is pretty nice. And also if you have other plays on turn 4, you could keep this card in hand even more, and for example play it 2 turns after that, if you're attacking for example on even turns. And yeah, so you basically get a discount on this card every time, and it's a very nice tempo swing later on, if you don't need to rush the damage right away. And then Battle Fury for a 1-on, which is a pretty nice trick that your opponent probably doesn't expect. We are running only 1 copy because, as I said, it is not so strong as a card, but the surprise factor of this card in some matches could make the difference. So yeah, that's the deck list, and let me know guys if you enjoy this kind of more advanced like explanation of the why I put those cards in the deck, and basically that's because I want to not, for example, you know the motto, for example, like don't give the man the fish, instead like teach him to how to fish. And so he will never starve any other day. So yeah, I'm basically for that kind of philosophy, and let me know guys if you enjoy this more, or you just want the meal already prepared and you just want to eat it straight away without the actual preparation of it. So yeah, with that said, let's jump into the first match. Okay, so we have a pretty nice hand. We are going second, so as I said, we want to keep the Omen Oak, but still the Legend Saboteur is always nice. As I said, you want to mulligan for 1 drops and Ancient Yeti. So yeah, we probably want to mulligan the Legend Grenadier, and I know that a 2-drop on curve is always nice, but probably if we draw another 1-drop, it's even better, and I will explain that in a moment. So and I wanted to do that to not make our opponent wait too much. So my thought on that is basically a 2-drop, like for example the Legend Grenadier, is 2 mana, 3/1, and also the additional bonus of deal 2 more damage. But if you have 2 1-drops on average, like for example, let's say 2 Legends Saboteur, for the same cost, 2 mana, 2 Legends Saboteur, you get instead a 2/1 and another 2/1 for a total damage of 4, and also the additional effect of deal 1. So for 2 mana you have basically a 6/2 instead of a 3/1. And obviously it is true, sorry for the wait man, I was explaining, but anyway, it is true that you are wasting 1 more card from the end, and that's the main drawback, if I may say. But yeah, it's probably still, since we are an aggressive deck, we don't really care about resources management and like value, tempo. So yeah, we want to push the damage as soon as we can. So, by the way, I got carried away on my reasoning, but we see that we are against the deck that we were playing yesterday, the Heimer V control deck, and so since like units come down on turn 3, I wanted to develop right away and force some removal from his end, which he had to play. And so yeah, probably if against another aggro matchup or mid-rangey matchup, we probably would have first attacked with the 1/1 to get at least 1 damage in and not risk any blocks from his part. But yeah, so next turn we will play the Ancient Yeti, and we are going to be attacking, so that's pretty nice. Now, it is true that we lose the Omen Oak if we play the Imperial Demolitionist, but yeah, we want to develop as an aggro deck. We can't really afford to waste 1 mana on the early turns, so yeah.
Make the Empire proud.
And also the 2/3 gets a value trade for the elusive assassin next turn if he will block that. But probably we want to first play the Ancient Yeti, as skipping the attack from it is too much of a waste, so yeah. It is also nice, very nice, that our strongest cards come down on even turns, like for example Darius and the Ancient Yeti if we mulliganed it in. And so yeah, it is very good. As an aggro deck, you want most of the times to be first, and that is true also for this deck. But this deck is nice because it has such power cards on even turns that you don't really feel bad about attacking on even turns either. Okay, Will of Ionia, that's pretty bad on the Ancient Yeti, because obviously it will return to 7 mana. Yeah, that really can't do much about that. But it is still fine since we didn't really lose that. And so he did lose a resource, and the Ancient Yeti will come down eventually on later turns. So yeah, that's fine. So now we did draw. Okay, did meditation. He's searching for removals, I guess. So we did get the Rattlesnake Raider and the Imperial Demolitionist, which is also buffed from the Omen Oak that we played on the first turn. And as I said, this is a very nice synergy because the Imperial Demolitionist will not have the drawback of damaging one of our units. Basically, yeah, she is still damaging it, but the tough keyword make it so that she doesn't actually take damage. So yeah, now our board is looking pretty good. Next turn we will have also 3 mana spells, and so we can start to play some tricks. Not really Free of the North, because next turn will be 6th turn, and we will and Darius will also come down. So right now we could even push for lethal, and you have to consider the ordering of your attacks, because Darius can level up during the fight itself. For example, right now we see that he's at 13. If we get 3 damage, okay, Darius is removed, but that is a pretty expensive move. By the way, I was saying that if he went down at 10, like for example a Rattlesnake Raider went in, then Darius would see the Nexus down at 10 health or less, and he would level up mid-fight. So yeah, that's a pretty nice interaction. Let's see if he goes for the trade. If not, we have 8 damage in, so we'll go down at 5. So we can't really kill him with the might. And I probably want to keep that since he is already blocking I don't know, Bison is already blocking an Overwhelm unit, and we want to save the might for non-Overwhelm units, like for example the Legend Grenadier, or those 2 that we already have in the battle. So yeah, this is looking kinda good. As I said yesterday, the control decks really are preyed down by aggro decks, and now we are an aggro deck, so...
What seems to be the problem?
Okay, Heimerdinger coming down, but he has only 2 mana, so he really can't do much. We simply develop Ancient Yeti and Iron Ballista, and next turn this is probably a good game. Let's force the surrender from him. I don't know really what could save him. Come on, man. Okay. Develop even further. Whatever he blocks, we can still overwhelm that unit. Okay. So yeah, that's a good game. Pretty fast games, obviously from aggro decks. That was for the first match. We did have a pretty nice matchup, so let's see if we get some worse matchups and see how this deck plays out. Okay, so we are up against Bilgewater and Piltover with Ezreal and Twisted Fate. So yeah, probably we want to watch out for Make It Rain. So probably in this matchup we actually don't want to mulligan for 1-drops because Make It Rain really crashes all our hopes. So yeah, we want to keep the 2-drops, which are obviously nice. But the Make It Rain is actually kinda bad against the Crimson Disciple because you take 2 more damage in if the Crimson Disciple survives, obviously. Axiom Fervor, probably we don't want to mulligan for it, we want to develop, so yeah. Okay, probably the Legend Grenadier is the worst card among these ones. But Crimson Disciple into Imperial Demolitionist and also the Transfusion will really come in handy. Okay, yeah, so we are up against an aggro deck, as I said. The Ezreal is kinda awkward. I didn't see this deck yet, so it's kinda new. I don't know what to expect, but yeah, probably he's running Make It Rain, Mystic Shot. Are you sleeping, man?
Let's get to it.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if he's having troubles with the connection, but yeah, feels pretty bad. Okay, he's taking his time. Okay, now this is pretty strange because we want to maximize the damage that comes from the Crimson Disciple, and attacking into the Jagged Butcher or even blocking into the Jagged Butcher will basically not give us the option to Imperial Demolitionist into her. And so we probably want to go for the Legend Grenadier, even if it's kinda risky because Make It Rain could come down on turn 2. And so feels pretty bad that I'm taking my time also to explain, and so I'm pretty not so consistent. But yeah, I don't know if he's also recording or streaming, so he's taking his time to explain. But yet, I don't know if he's still probably taking much more time than I am. Anyway. Probably he doesn't have the Make It Rain, because if he had, he would probably play it at fast speed. I'm pretty happy if he goes for the trade, because obviously we reset the board and we also get any way to damage in. It's true that we are basically losing 1 mana, because obviously the trade is a 2-drop for a 1-drop, but yeah. We really do care mostly about the board state and the Nexus health. So yeah, obviously the mana is also important, but if he is floating the mana and keeping the mana for some tricks, it is not as strong as developing units. Yeah, come on, man. I get it to take your time, but this is a pretty toxic behavior, don't you think? Okay, so it is kind of sad that we didn't, basically we couldn't do anything about that, but I wanted to have 2 mana on the spell floating, because then on turn 4, like basically my line of thought here is going for the Iron Ballista right now, trying to develop some damage and board presence, and then on turn 4 go for Crimson Disciple, Imperial Demolitionist combo, and also, since we will be attacking, the Transfusion will be pretty nice as a trick. So yeah, with that said, yeah, we can't really play the Crimson Disciple now, float 1 mana, and then next turn play the Imperial Demolitionist and keep the mana for the Transfusion, because we will have 4 mana and 2 mana spells. Playing a unit will make us go at 2 mana and 2 mana spell, and if we don't go for the Transfusion, we lose 1 mana, we float one too much. So yeah, probably developing the more you can is probably the best option here.
Welcome.
Okay, slot bot, really interesting. So maybe he's what is the keyword? It was on the 1-drop. It's a plunder based deck. So yeah, Make It Rain still pretty strong in that kind of deck, because on the earliest turn it is probably pretty common to have 2 units or less on the board, so you basically activate the plunder with the make it rain, so yeah, we really have to watch out for that. Very nice that the slot bot got +1 attack only. He didn't reshuffle the, like for example for 3 attack and 3 health, because this is basically a nice trade for our Iron Ballista. Okay, that is pretty interesting. Probably want to keep the transfusion for some trades, because if we develop on the Emperor Demolitionist, he gets a nice trade with the slot bot. Instead, if we attack first, he will probably not block her, and so we get the transfusion to even more make our Iron Ballista more healthy. So yeah, I kinda like this idea.
My turn.
Let's attack right now. If he doesn't block anything, we can still go for the Emperor Demolitionist after effect. And if she survives, then we can use the combo with the Fury of the North on air, like I said, to replenish her health. Because basically, after the turn, you lose the stat for this round, like Fury of the North. But if your health went higher than your max health, then you will... how do I say that? For example, let's say this is a 2-1. You give her +4/+4, she goes to a 6-5, since she was with 1 health left. Then after the fact, you lose the 4 health, but you don't lose all the health, like this +4. If it is possible, you reset her to the maximum amount of health after the fact. And this is basically to avoid bad scenarios, like for example, she does lose 1 health from the combat, and then if all the +4 on health gets depleted, then she basically dies. And that feels kinda bad, so I agree with that design choice. So now we push 6 damage. If we get for the transfusion, that will be 4 more, 2 from the Crimson Disciple and the +2/+2 on the other one, which makes us goes to 10. But I don't kinda like that. I want to keep the transfusion for combat tricks. Instead, I want to develop the Imperial Demolitionist and also get the 2 damage in anyway. And if so, then the transfusion will give us the most damage out of the Crimson Disciple. Obviously, you want to activate her 2 times, and if possible, with the Fury of the North, even more times. So yeah.
You for the many.
So now the Twisted Fate doesn't get a nice attack option, because we simply can block it with the Imperial Demolitionist. Burning Shot, so probably Preferred Goods is coming. Yeah, here it is. So for some nice value, we have to watch out now, even for our own tricks. Would have drawn them.
I guess you can win them all.
Okay, a pretty early level up on the Twisted Fate. This is pretty bad for some shenanigans, yeah, like Ramage. So let's see. Blue card, probably the best for us. He's going more for... not that he's going for it, that's random, but he's getting more like value cards, and he's pretty low on health, so I don't know how well this could go for him. Okay, so we simply now develop as much as we can, and next turn we get a pretty big swing with some nice tricks. Okay, another Ramage. Okay, this is a bit worse for us, red card. But probably the worst right now would be the yellow card, the one which does 2 damage and stuns. Yes, yeah, kind of like the Crimson Disciple getting damaged, because then we can go for Fury of the North, as I said, replenish our health. We don't really care about taking 3 damage, so might as well getting him here. Okay, now we go for the pretty swing turn, and that should be a win. Let's see.
Can't leave until you win.
By the way, 11-10, wow, amazing. He did draw some insane amount of cards.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Let's see. Okay, Mystic Shot. Another Mystic Shot on that. Yeah, we probably want to upgrade this one. So, more damage comes from the red card itself. And so, yeah, he's already dead. But let's push it even further with the Transfusion, keeping alive also the 4-2 from the Mystic Shot. Push even more damage. And yeah, he should be super dead, but let's see. Sorry, man.
People person.
This is what you get for being FK and playing so slowly. Nothing personal, really. So yeah, good game. Yeah, the last match was a bit more like a mid-range matchup. So we still need to face the aggro matchup. Let's see if we are lucky and get also that. So let's jump into the last match. Okay, we are up against Ionia Piltover with Timo and Zed, which is not a meta deck that I recall, but given from the champions and the factions, it is probably an aggro deck. So yeah, against an aggro deck, we probably want to be more the control guy. We want to be on a slower pace. Since we did draw two nice 2 mana drops, which synergizes pretty well with themselves. We probably want to keep those, and we want to hard mulligan for the Darius, which you probably don't want to do, but yeah, he's very strong if he comes down at turn 6, and we are attacking on even turns, so yeah. Probably... what do I want to trade next turn? Precious Pet, by the blocking, by the way. Probably the Precious Pet. Because next turn we get 2 damage in, since he can't block with that. And then the turn after that we probably want to trade, since the Precious Pet loses value the more the game goes on. Okay, probably want to attack first, as I said, get the 2 damage in. And then we develop the Crimson Disciple. Wow. Mystic Shot on that. I don't know if that's the right play. Wasting basically a removal.
Let me show you what I can do.
Also wasting 1 mana since you are trading a 1-drop. Yeah, I don't know. Would have been much stronger against the damage the Crimson Disciple.
Unfinished business.
But yeah, I can't argue about my opponent plays really. So,
If they don't break,
obviously his misplays are good for us. So yeah.
for the glory of Noxus.
Okay, we get 4 damage in already. We get a nice block with the 2-1, which obviously he doesn't go for. I don't know, the Silent Shadow Seer is probably, I don't know,
Explosive.
like crafting some decks of his own. I don't like the Silent Shadow Seer. Paying 2 mana every turn to get 3 damage in, not all the times. Yeah. I know that she's probably a better Mystic Shot at burning, but she isn't fast. Yeah, I don't know, kinda awkward, but yeah. Since he's an aggro deck, he probably will develop the board by itself, so he probably want to attack first, I guess, but the Iron Ballista seems pretty interesting, so we probably want to develop the Iron Ballista first. And then we will see about the Precious Pet. If, for example, he plays a 4-drop, like he is... Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So yeah, we want to play the Precious Pet because nothing can block him. Okay, so let's go in. Probably gets a value trade with the 2-3 on the Legion Saboteur. which he doesn't go for, but that's fine. Okay, kinda awkward blocks by his part. He's trading the Teemo, which is huge if you have double of them. Okay, we did get some nice damage in. Our Darius will come down leveled up, so we did a nice job by keeping it. The nice combo of the Ruthless Raider and the Imperial Demolitionist, so the Imperial Demolitionist doesn't really damage anything. Okay, the Jewel Protector, but I don't know, man, you are pretty behind on board, so I don't know about a value play. Do we want to block the 4-3? Probably yes, since he will probably block it anyway next turn when we are attacking, so might as well not give him the chance to get a value trade on those. And obviously we can't block Teemo, so yeah.
Size doesn't mean everything.
Okay, Imperial Demolitions.
For the Empire.
They're down at 5. Darius will deal an insane amount of damage.
You for the men.
And yeah, he could still survive if he blocks the 3-1 with the 2-3 and another 2 to attack from Teemo. He's only taking 4, but you also have to remove the Darius. Noxian Fervor could be
Blood for Noxus! Mine is the hand of Noxus.
as I was saying, Noxian Fervor could be a nice finisher for the burn.
None shall oppose
Attack.
me.
And yes, that's GG. Well played, man.
We have done well. Noxus is proud.
So yeah, we were kinda lucky. We did get a 3-win streak first try. I also like to, as you saw in the yesterday's video, to show you even when I lose, because it is also important to see that the deck doesn't always draw well, and it has some unfavorable matchups. But you have to look at the deck on like a more broad vision, like to see what the deck can do and what it can't. I don't like people showing only when they win, when they get lucky, because that's not how the card games, statistics and probabilities work. You have also to show the worst part of the deck to actually make get better at the deck, because you know its limitations, what it can do and what it can't. But anyway, that's my wild thoughts on that. So yeah, that's the deck. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya.